Hi, Simon Edwards here in Medellin, Colombia, looking ahead to the Copa America Final. We have Argentina against Brazil, two of the huge clubs in world football, and two clubs who are on very good form. Argentina are unbeaten in 19 games. The last time they lost was at the Copa America against Brazil in the semi-final in 2019. Brazil, 13 games unbeaten. Their last defeat was against Argentina in 2019 as well. So these are two teams on good form. Messi, in particular, is in incredible form, particularly this Copa America, really leading the side, in some ways carrying the creative side for Argentina. He's been directly involved in 9 of the 11 goals Argentina have scored. He's set up 5, he's scored 4, 2 free kicks. Messi's been in incredible form. Neymar is also playing very well for Brazil. He's been the most fouled player, as perhaps you can expect. He's a player who's really having a massive impact for Brazil. This game should be interesting. Both sides won their respective groups. Brazil perhaps in a little bit more comfortable fashion. Argentina progressed to the final with a penalty shootout win against Colombia, whereas Brazil narrowly beat Peru in their semi-final. It should be a really interesting final. Both sides, despite their attacking quality, are really focused and reliant on their defensive strength. Now, for Brazil, Casemiro in front of a very strong back four. You understand why. Brazil have good quality in attack, but they're really, really strong in defense. Edison in goal, Casemiro, Marquinhos, Thiago Silva. It's a really strong defense. Chiche has been in charge for 5 years. He's been incredibly consistent. They've only conceded 2 goals in their last 6 games in the Copa America, and they've only conceded 2 goals in their last 6 games in the World Cup qualifying. So they don't concede very many. A lot of Brazil's goals have come late. 4 substitutes have scored for Brazil in this tournament so far. So they definitely like to get a goal early, sit back, and then pick off the opposition on the counter. They don't tend to concede. They're quite conservative, but they can still get the ball in the back of the net and get 1 or 2, 3 or 4 goals as well at times in this tournament. With Argentina, it's somewhat of a similar style. They try to score early. With Argentina, excluding the game against Bolivia, they've had 60% possession when they are chasing a goal, when they're drawing, and they've averaged 38% possession when they're behind. So what Argentina do is they score and they sit back and defend. Now, that is an approach which at times can create problems because Argentina are not Brazil defensively. Brazil have very consistently been very strong at the back, whereas Argentina are not quite as strong defensively. Now, Martinez in goal has massively improved them. Romero's also been an important acquisition in terms of the defence. But they've still got Otamendi there. I don't want to be too mean about Otamendi, but he's can lose his head, he can lose the ball. He's definitely a weak part for Argentina, and the fullbacks aren't as strong. But they have Messi, so who knows? I think the team that scores first will try to fulfill their defensive game plan, which I think is something that will work better for Brazil than for Argentina. I think Brazil are going to win this, but Lionel Messi is obviously the X factor with Lautaro Martinez playing very well as well. So it's going to be a tight one. It's going to be an interesting one. With Argentina, when they score, they sit back and try to defend the lead, and that can at times kill their momentum, which they struggle to get back. First 10 minutes against Colombia, completely dominant. Then they sat back. Colombia finally started getting a grip of the game, and then Colombia dominated until they equalised, and Argentina found it a little bit more difficult to get back that control. So it's going to be an interesting one. In terms of top scorer in the tournament, Messi is first on 4. Lautaro is second on 3. Lucas Paquetá has scored in the last 2 Brazil games, so that's an interesting one to follow. He's got 2 goals. Neymar's also got 2 goals. Brazil have scored quite a few goals from headers as well. So Brazil, goals from headers and goals late on once the game, when the position is pushed forward to get the equaliser, Brazil can tend to hit them on the break. So I'm going to go for Brazil. Pinnacle have Brazil as favourites as well. I think Brazil are the stronger side, but Messi can produce something out of nothing. In terms of looking at expected goals and expected assists, Neymar's underperformed his expected goals and assists, whereas Messi has massively overperformed. So you can take that how you want. I think Brazil create more opportunities, and Neymar hasn't converted as many as perhaps he could have. whereas Argentina find it more difficult to create chances, but Messi can make something out of nothing. So that's the final. It's going to be a big game. It's going to be an interesting one. I think Brazil are going to win, but Messi is going to have a big role to play. First goal scorer. I think it's harder to pick someone from the Brazil side because the goals have been more spread out. For Argentina, Messi. He's been directly involved in 9 of the 11 goals. So looking forward to it, and I can't wait to see how this one unfolds.